Thank you for taking your time to stop by at this very channel. I want to assure you that today we are going to be looking at one of the most important indicators that is being used by all traders, especially the float trader, which is what I refer to as a pivot point. Now, pivot point is an important indicator, but in today's video, we are going to consider how we use pivot point with price action. How does the price react on every pivot point? What are those things that make price to rebalance? What are those actions that happen? What are those things that is happening that is allowing price to rebalance on what? On the pivot point. Now we are going to consider pivot 1, pivot 2, pivot 3. So we are going to segment this pivot into support 1, support 2, support 3, and resistance 1, resistance 2, and resistance 3. We are going to break down every component. We are going to look at every component. What are those things that make up the pivot point? What are those combinations? What are those things that we need? Then I'm going to come up with a perfect software that you can use instead of you plotting making use of pivot calculator like what we are doing by the time we first start our trading in our early days. But now we have designed a kind of calculator, a kind of a virtual calculator that we automatically calculate the pivot point and draw the lines on the chart for you, so that when prices approach those areas, what are the reaction of price towards the pivot point? These are what we are going to look at in this video. So I want you to pay particular attention to this video. I want you to take your time so that and watch this video to the end of the video, so that you'll be able to understand how we use pivot point as an entry and we use pivot point as an exit. These are what we are going to consider in this video. So I wish you good luck if you can stay to the end of this video, and I want you to pay particular attention to this video. So I will be going into the video without any hesitation. So let's go into the video right now. Thank you for having me back in this video. In today's video, we shall be looking at what we consider as pivot points. What are pivot points? How do we relate to pivot point to price action? Like I've told you that most of the time we are going to be looking at price action. These are what we are going to be relating everything that we are doing to. So we are going to relate our pivot point to price action. Now we are going to look at pivot point in different dimensions. We are going to look at pivot point itself, and we are going to look at what are those figures that are associated with pivot point. We are going to look at the support 1, support 2, support 3, and we are going to go further and look at resistance 1, resistance 2, and resistance 3. How do we trade these pivot points? Now, I want to assure you that pivot point has been one of the major indicators that is being used by various floor traders today. These are the people that use this pivot point. That is, majority of floor traders today, they use the pivot point to operate. Now, to me, I have my indicator that I'm using for pivot points, and one of the indicators that I'm using for pivot point has been embedded in my chart. What I do is, most of the time, this pivot point has been inculcated in my chart. Gone are the days that when we are trading pivot point, we use pivot calculator to calculate our chart. That is, to calculate the close number and the high figure, so that we can arrive at the pivot point for the day. But basically today, I am going to plot the pivot point on the chart. I'm going to plot it on the chart, and we are going to see how price are reacting, how price is being reacting on the pivot point. That is how they are being reacted on the pivot point. These are what we are going to be looking at today. So without any further ado, let's plot the pivot point on the chart. Now I am going to come up to my custom indicator. Here is my custom indicator, and I'm moving out to the pivot point. Here is my pivot indicator, which is going to plot directly on the chart. Now these are the pivot line. If you look at this line, I'm having resistance 3, I'm having resistance 3, resistance 3, resistance 2, resistance 1. And I'm also having the blue line, which is pivot level. So, and I'm also having support 1, support 2, support 3. These are the pivot line that I'm having. These are the support line that I'm having on my chart for today. So, without any hesitation, once this has been drawn on the chart, what do we need to do? How do we really trade the pivot point with the price action? That is what we are after today. We want to see how we can take trade with pivot point and with the price action. Now, if I move down to my, let's move down to 15 minutes chart. You will agree with me that in my 15 minutes chart, there are lines that is coming around this play. We have lines. These lines signify the pivot area. If you look at it from here, you will agree with me that once the price move above the pivot point, then we continue to look for what? We continue to look for the logical area that the price will rebalance again. The price will have a turning. Now, if you look at this chart from here, if you look at my chart, you will agree with me. Now, let me magnify it from here. Let's see how this is moving. Now, let's look at it from here. From this area, you see that when the price break out of the pivot point, that is, the pivot point is the close figure of some days. That is, if you are taking about 30 or 20 moving 20 prices together, so we calculate the close figure and arrive at the pivot point. Now, if you look at this place from here, look at it from here. From here, you will agree with me that when the price moved out of the pivot area, it got to what? It got to resistance 1. Here is the resistance 1. Now, what happened at resistance 1 is what we are after. And what also happened at resistance 2 is what we are after. Now, if I'm trading for the day and I want to see how the price action are going to behave, now what I will be looking at in this scenario is that I'll be looking at the pivot point. What are the reaction of the prices on the pivot point? What are those reactions? Now, if you look at this place from here, look at it from here, when price move out from the pivot area, look at it from here, when price move out from here. Once it got here, what do we have? We have the price continue to form some shopping candles. It is telling you that this line that you are having here rests on what? On the pivot point. It rests on a lot of resistance. Now, if I have to go back to a bigger time frame, I will tell you those areas that we are having this resistance to that are lying. And now look at what happened from here. Look at the story, because it's taking an historical information from the price, and that is why you see that by the time the price got to resistance 2, what do we have? We have a kind of change of what? Of the price. The price make a U-turn around that place. That is, the price make a U-turn around here and got to this place. Are you getting that now? And once it got here, what do we need to do? Now, if I plot my trend line, now most of the time, trend line always appear on this area. Now let's draw our trend line. That is, I'm picking up a trend line around here. Let me assume, okay, let me compress the chart and see if everything is going to work simultaneously. It's going to work in a synchronized way. Now look at it from here. So I'm drawing a trend line that has to touch. Let me delete this again. So let's see how, let's draw it properly so that we don't mess up everything. I want to reduce the chart a little bit. Now I'm drawing a trend line around this area. So I want to touch every, okay, let me take it from, okay, let's take it from here. I'm drawing a trend line from here, from here, from here. Now I want to touch every resistance, every support. Now I have to take it from here. Look at it from here. Now let's take it from here and touch. Okay, let me take it from here. So I want to make sure that every support I touch. So I'm taking a resistance line around here, taking a trend line around here, take my trend line around here, drawing my trend line. Now I want to extend the trend line to probably around this area. I want it to touch this area. I want my trend line to come around this area so that we can know eventually what are those areas. Now I want everything to be there. Now these are the lines that we are looking at now. Now here are the trend line. Now the essence of drawing this trend line is for us to understand that every area that we are having, that there are potential support. There's potential support before we could have a rebalance. Now, if you look at this place from here, look at it from here, the pivot point corresponds with my trend line around this place. And there are potential support around here that made this area to rebalance. So when price approach this area, what do we have from here? We have the price moving forward and continue to do what? And continue to go to this area. Now, the importance of pivot point, number one, is to be able to get an entry. Number two is to be able to get an exit. That is the importance of pivot point. Pivot point will allow you to do what? To get an entry. Now, with my trading, when I trading, I used to look at what are those areas that we are having price to be misbehaving. That is, we are having a shopping candles. And this area corresponds to the pivot point. Is this area correspond to a major support or to a major trend line or to a major moving average? So these are the things that we are going to look at. Now let's go back to 5 minutes. Look at it from here. Look at your move from here. Immediately we got here. Look at what happened. The pivot point continue to do. At the time we approach resistance 1, resistance 2, what do we have? We have the pivot point around this area. And look at the support. Look at my pivot point. Look at the support. It rebounds on that support. Now immediately the price approach resistance 3. Now in most cases when I'm taking my trading, I used to take my profits on what? On resistance 3 for the day, because that is the area in most cases that I see potential area that the price will stop. So I used to take my profit on that resistance 3 before doing anything. So if I take my trade around here, maybe I come up around here, I am looking at my resistance 3 to take my profit. And if you look at this place, by the time the price got to this area, it is not a magic. Why are they turning on this resistance, on the pivot point? They are turning because the pivot point is resting on support and resistance. Now, in most cases, we define pivot point or support and resistance as a leading indicator, because these are the areas that trader will continue to do, will continue to experience, will continue to expect what we refer to as a potential areas of reversal. And look at what happened when the price got to this area. Now, I'm not using pivot calculator. I'm using a customized indicator that will allow me to see the pivot line on my chart. Now, if you need this indicator, what I will advise you to do is to subscribe. Just say I subscribe and I need the pivot indicator, and I will tell you how I will email this to you right away. Now, everything is going to work in your favor if you are patient and allow your pivot point to work perfectly for you. Now, look at this area. If you look at this area now, look at it from here. Once we get here, what do we have from here? And we have our trend line around this area. Now, let's plot the trend line. Let's see how we have. I also have an indicator that plot the trend line automatically. So I'm plotting the trend line automatically on my chart. Now, if you look at it from here now, look at what the trend line is doing from here. If you look at it from here, as soon as we plot the trend line around here, look at what price is doing. So by the time the price move to this area, we also have what? We also have the trend line, which is coming from 15-minute charts. And this trend line has eventually formed a channel. And this channel is what the price is going to follow. Look at it from here. By the time the price got here, probably it comes down to this place and it rebounds again and continue the move until it got to a logical area that is going to reverse. So look at it from here. Look at the pivot point around this place. Look at the move from here. Now let me expand it a little bit so that we can get what I'm saying. Look at it from here. So this is how we use our pivot point as a point of entry during time of day. So you must always expect your price to react on the pivot point and wait for what will happen after what? After there is a reaction. These are the possible things that happen. You will have a shadow down around that area. Look at it from here. We have what we refer to as a shadow. After the whole thing has come, then we continue to see the candle doing what? Misbehaving around this place. And then we continue to look for an engulfing pattern around here. And this engulfing pattern gives us what we refer to as what? As a continuation of the move. And we enter resistance 3 again to an extension. This is an extension. From that place, we have an extension to this area. So pivot point is a very simple way of trading. And it has been proven very, very effective over time. These are what the floor traders are using over time to take their trade. So while you are trading, you have to plot this on your chart. Don't make the chart look so messy. It doesn't work that way. These are the simple indicator that I use in trading my forex trading. These are what I use, because if I have to mingle up the chart, if I have to put a lot of indicators on my chart, it will not work. It will divide me. It will block me from doing what? From doing a proper analysis. And I don't want that. So that is why when I'm doing my analysis, I tend to look at those parameters. If you look at this tiny line that you see here is a trend line. They are very, very, very important. They often repair the price most of the time. When price touch those things, they come back. When price touch the trend line, what do? They reverse again. So let's go back to a bigger time frame. Let's see what is happening in a bigger time frame. Let me take this off so that we can. I want to take this out. So look at it from here. During our pivot point, look at when the price got to this area. What do we have around this place? We have the trend line that is forming on the pivot point. Now, if you're having your trend line and your pivot points, they are together at the same time, and you also have a lot of support that are forming at that area, it is telling you that this area is an area of potential reversal. And I refer to this area as an area of double. Now, look at it from here again. Let me take this out. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take this trend line out. Yes. So look at this place now. Immediately, we have this area. We have it from here. Look at, by the time we have this trend line around this place, what do we have? We have a retrace, which is at resistance 3 and resistance 2. And at resistance 2, we have an extension to what? To resistance 3. So this is how we use the pivot point. While we are trading, you must always see that if we are using calculator to do this, it might not be virtual on the chart. But I want to tell you that those figures are real on the calculator. They are real. But by the time you plot those lines on the trend, you plot those lines on the chart, it's going to give you a confidence, it's going to give you more virtual information than what you have with your figures on the calculator. So this is how you look at the price. You look at the price action on what? On the pivot point. Now, if you look at this area, look at it from here, look at this area. Are you seeing that once the price approach this area, you see that there are shopping candle, there are shadow. It is the activity of the pivot point that prepare the price to a downtrend. So by the time you move out of the pivot, now the first thing is for you to take a long trade using the pivot point, you must consider this blue line, which is here, this blue line. Now, is the price above the blue line? If the price is above the blue line, it is telling you that the trend is up. If it is below the blue line, it is telling you that the trend is down. So what you need to do is to take particular attention, to pay particular attention to the pivot line, which is the blue line that I am having here. The blue line I'm having here is now the price is above. Then we are looking for what? We are looking for an uptrend. And that's how we take our trade during time of day. Now, if the price is below, look at what is happening here. The price is below here. So you look for what? You don't look for uptrend. You look for a downtrend around this place. Is that understood? So this is how we take our trade. So I want you to take your time, look at the charts, then do what? Be able to identify how you can trade with your pivot point. And if you need this pivot calculator, all you need to do, just subscribe to my channel. Send a message to me. I always take my time to reply all your messages. So if you need this calculator, just tell me and say I subscribe and I need the pivot calculator. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to see the way I can email the pivot point to you. And if you want to know how to run a custom indicator on your chart, I'm going to provide a video on how to run a custom indicator on your chart on MetaTrader 4. What I use is MetaTrader 4. How you can run a custom indicator. I'm going to provide a video on how you can do this. So if you need this, just send an email to me. Just tell me you subscribe. Then I'm going to find a way to email all this indicator to your boss. These are what you can use to take trade. But don't put everything on your chart. It doesn't work that way. What you need to do is to look at how price is reacting on that pivot point. So I want you to watch these two videos. You watch these two videos. This video will enable you to understand how price action is being react on every indicator. So I want you to wish you good luck because you have stayed to the end of this video. And I say good luck in your trading.